Well. Looks like the impossible happened today on this NBA trade deadline day. The Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers not only managed to move their disgruntled superstars, they managed to swap them from each other and get pretty decent haul in return. Like no more so than Brooklyn though. Like the Brooklyn Nets got Ben Simmons along with Seth Curry, along with Andre Drummond and a couple of future first-round draft picks in exchange for James Harden and another guy. He played for Atlanta. I forget his name. He's actually a productive player. But how about those Nets, man? Getting what should be a motivated Ben Simmons to go along with the shooting of Seth Curry. They already have Patty Mills shooting the ball from deep. They have shooters in a defensive-minded distributor from the point guard position, who, by the way, is still 6'10" tall, last I checked. So to me, this pretty much saves Brooklyn's season. I mean, outside of the Milwaukee Bucks, maybe the Miami Heat, and maybe Philadelphia as well, and I'll get to them more in a moment. Does anyone else in the East really scare you if you're the Brooklyn Nets? I mean, seriously, all due respect to Chicago and Cleveland, who have great, amazing turnaround seasons. Are you really scared of them if you're Brooklyn? I mean, are you really scared of them? And sure, Toronto's playing well. Them and Boston are hot streaks right now. They're hot like fish streaks. But are you really scared of those two teams as well? And I know that the Celtics beat them down by 30 some odd points the other night, but they didn't have James Harden. They were there in the water, like in the water. The atmosphere at the Barclays was bleak at best. I mean, come on. Now with Ben Simmons in the fold, with Seth Curry shooting from deep, go along with Patty Mills, and excuse me, Andre Drummond, who's a walking double-double every night. That gives him finally a rim protector that was sorely missing with Jared Allen being shipped to Cleveland as part of the James Harden deal early in the season. Well, I should say last season, I should say. And we hadn't mentioned the biggest fish. Kevin Durant is still injured. Now, when Kevin Durant comes back with Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, like a rim protector and run of the paint. And I didn't mention Kyrie Irving's like crazy ass. I mean, Brooklyn made out very, very well, very, very well, considering that everybody and their mama knew that the Sixers wanted to unload Ben Simmons. Now, as for the Sixers, I thought this was a win-win at first because the Sixers got who they wanted. I think Harden's a better pairing with Joel Embiid running the pick and roll. And again, the name of the second guy escapes me from the bench. Maybe people think that he's pretty inconsequential. I think he's still a good player. Will provide depth off the bench and leadership. But it's obvious that Brooklyn got the better of this deal. It really is. Because again, everybody and their mother knew that Ben Simmons wanted out of Philly. And the fact that Brooklyn was able to get Ben Simmons and not give up so much for him. That's crazy. That is crazy. And yeah, I know that everyone in mamas also knew that James Harden wanted out of Philly. But they didn't get raked over the coals, the Brooklyn Nets did, as much as the Sixers did. Again, the Sixers got who they wanted. They got James Harden. They wanted James Harden for a while. That was no secret. Okay, that was no secret. And he's a better fit with this particular team. With again, we're in the pick and roll with Joel Embiid, who is having an MVP caliber season. He's a freaking monster right now. But they gave up a lot to get someone who they knew wasn't going to stick around, right? And they didn't get enough in return well, we all knew that they wouldn't get for so much in return for Ben Simmons, right? Because again, everybody and their mama knew that, there's that phrase again, that Ben Simmons wanted out of Philly. So they wouldn't get for so much for him. And it was amazing that they got a superstar, James Harden, or Ben Simmons. But Brooklyn came out pretty nice. Again, Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, when he's right and not being selfish and he gets his ass vaccinated, especially as he could play every game instead of being a part-time player. Patty Mills, Andre Drummond, and when he comes back, a healthy Kevin Durant. And they didn't have to mess with much of their depth at all. Sure, both teams got what they wanted, but again, Brooklyn has to be smiling really broadly right about now, and good for them.